I would like to talk a little bit about Zosimos to you. So you might already know that Zosimos is an online chemistry educational tool. So basically, the only thing you would need to work with Zosimos is a browser like Chrome. And it is supported on laptops, tablets, and mobile phones. So wherever your students are, they are able to work with Zosimos, provided that they have a stable Wi-Fi. And Zosimos enables you to create interactive chemistry quizzes and exams as well, and you can share them with the students. So the main power of Zosimos is that it fully supports chemical structure and reaction drawing. So you can see an example on my screen right now. So teachers can draw chemical structures, and they can also ask students to draw chemical structures themselves. And then the structures are automatically evaluated. So they are checked against the correct structure that has been provided by the teacher. So in the next part, I would like to ask you to try out Zosimos. I have created a small quiz for you that you can complete right now. So Yanchi will send you this link you can see on my screen in the chat. And you should click on the link, and you can do this very short quiz yourself. I'm going to do this on my screen. Feel free to do it on your own place, but if you wish, you can have a look at my screen as well and just follow how I am doing it right now. So my first question in Zosimos is, how many heteroatoms are there in a lactic acid molecule? So you can see that there is the chemical structure of this molecule provided here. And this is a multiple choice question type. I can see 3 oxygen atoms. So I'm going to say there are 3 heteroatoms in this molecule. The ones I selected the answer, I just click check answer, and Zosimos automatically evaluates my answer. And this was actually correct, so I earned 3 points. I can jump to the next exercise now, which is asking me what is the state of matter at room temperature of lactic acid. I'm gonna say here liquid. So this is a text-based exercise, and I'm just gonna check this again. This is again correct. And the last exercise asking me to modify lactic acid to lactate. So you can see that again I have a chemical structure here. I can click on this chemical structure, and then our drawing tool Marvin.js opens up. So this is the editor that's integrated into Zosimos, and it allows you to draw any kind of molecule you wish to draw. In this problem, there is already a molecule provided, and I just have to do a small modification. So I'm just gonna place a negative charge here so that I modify this molecule to lactate, and then click done, and again check answer. So now I'm ready with my quiz. I hope you are also about to finish the quiz. Once I answered all of my questions, I can click this result page here, and then it shows me my results. So I got actually 100% on this quiz, and from here it's possible to try Zosimos for free or sign in. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to sign in, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue with my demo part. So I'm going to sign in as the teacher in Zosimos. So from now on, if you have finished the quiz, my recommendation would be that you watch the screen and watch my demo, probably without trying to simultaneously performing it, because it will probably be too quick. But as Janci mentioned, you will get the recording later on, so you can rewatch this demo if you wish. So once you are signed in to Zosimos, you can see the quizzes that are available. These are the so-called public quizzes you can see right now. These are the quizzes that have been created by other chemistry educators and ChemAxon staff. And these quizzes are available for you to use, so you can either practice with these quizzes, ask your students to fill out these quizzes, and you can also, it's really important that you can actually copy these quizzes with this duplicate option. So you might copy a quiz and make a modification according to your needs, delete an exercise, and then you can share it with your students later on. If you create a quiz in Zosimos, I would encourage you to share it in a public way so that it appears here. But if you don't want to share your quizzes, your learning material, that's also absolutely fine. So in that case, your quiz will appear under this Created tab, and it will only be available for you to view and for your students if you wish to share them. So you can keep your learning material private as well if you wish. So now I'm just going to show you how to create a chemistry quiz that's similar to the one we tried out before. So in order to create a quiz, you should click this top right button here, New Quiz, and this will bring us to the quiz editor. So here in the quiz editor, the first thing is that you can add the name to your quiz. I'm just gonna imagine that I'm teaching an introductory level organic chemistry class, and I'm gonna create a quiz about carboxylic acids. So this quiz is gonna be about carboxylic acids. In the description, I'm just gonna add to my students that this is a practice quiz for them. It's not gonna be graded, it's just for their practice. So now I'm gonna show you how you can create questions in your quiz. So you can see this editor here, where I can type my question. My first question will be a very basic one. Let's say a carboxylic acid is an organic molecule with a ... group. So this is a very basic question. I'm interested to know if the students know what kind of functional group a carboxylic acid has. And the answer is going to be so-called text answer. So in this case, I'm going to provide the correct answer in a text box, and the correct answer is carboxyl. So carboxyl group is the functional group that's in a carboxylic acid. You might notice that it's possible to add alternative answer. In this case, I'm not going to provide any other correct answer. I want my students to know this, but in some cases it might be useful to define alternative answers as well. Okay, so the first exercise is ready. I'm going to move on to the next one, which will actually require some drawing already. And the question is, draw propanoic acid. And I'm going to be really nice to my students, and I'm going to add the chemical formula here. This is a little bit of help for them because from this they already know, for example, that there are 3 carbon atoms in this molecule. And I'm going to format the chemical formula correctly here with this editor. Okay, so the question is about drawing propanoic acid, and I have to provide the correct answer by drawing. So this time I'm gonna select structure answer, and in our chemical editor I'm gonna draw the correct structure. So this is the structure that's gonna be compared to the student's responses. And if the student's response matches this structure, then the student will get their score for this exercise. So propanoic acid, it has 3 carbon atoms, and I'm gonna add a double bonded oxygen, and I'm also gonna add an OH group here. So this is the reference structure that's going to be used when the quiz is evaluated for the students. I'm just going to click done, and I'm ready with my second exercise. Let's move on to the next one. The next one will be about a reaction. So please provide the starting compound of the reaction below. And here the main difference to the previous question is that I'm going to attach a chemical structure, not even structure, a reaction to this question for the student. So I'm asking about the starting compound of a reaction. I'm just going to put a question mark here first. And then I will add a reaction arrow, and I'm gonna put the reagent above the reaction arrow, which will be H+ and water. Just gonna format this again. And the molecule we are trying to synthesize here, it's going to be again a carboxylic acid, this time with a longer chain. And in the end, I'm going to add a double bonded oxygen and an OH group. So this is my question. It contains text-based part, a sentence, and also a reaction. And I have to provide again the correct answer, which is going to be a structure answer. And the correct answer to this question will actually be a nitrile. So I'm going to draw this compound now. And I need a triple bonded nitrogen at the end of the structure. So this is the correct structure, and this is going to be used as a reference. So now I'm going to finalize this quiz by clicking on this finalize button and clicking confirm. And now you can see that this quiz is ready, and it appeared under the created tab. It has a label on it which says private, so right now this is only visible for me. The next step is to share the quiz with my students, and in order to do that, we're going to create a virtual class in Zosimos. I'm going to click classes here on the top, and this will bring me to the classes page that has 2 different tabs. One of them is joined, another of them is managed. You can see that my joined tab is fairly empty. The reason for this is that here are the courses that you have joined as a student. So this is probably more relevant for your students. And the managed tab is the one where you can create your classes. and manage your classes. So for you as instructors, this is the more important part of the classes page. So I'm gonna click create class, and I'm just gonna add my course here. So this is gonna be the ChemAxon 100 class, Organic Chemistry 1. So as I said, this is an introductory level organic chemistry class. So once I provided the title, I hit the create button, and the class page has been created for this particular class. So in the next part, I'm going to walk you through this class page so that you understand each of the elements of this class page. So first of all, I am listed now as the teacher of this class because I created it. So I am responsible for managing this class. It might be interesting for you to know, especially for those people who have large classes. You might be working closely together with other instructors, and it's possible to add other teachers to your class. If you click on this add button and select teacher, and you can just type in your colleague's email address, the one they used when registering to Zosimos, and then they can be added as extra teachers to their class, and they will have the same rights as you. So they can view the students' results, they can schedule assessments, and so on. So this might be useful for large classes. Another thing I would like to mention, so how can the students join this class? So it's fairly easy because we have this student join link listed here. So this is the link you would need if you would like to invite students to this class. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to click on this icon here, and then the link has been copied to my clipboard. And after that, basically, you can use any kind of communication tool you usually use with your students, and then you can share this link with the students. I'm going to show you this. For now, I'm going to be sending an email to my student, who will be my colleague Erica, about her Zosimos class. So I'm just saying, dear student, please join the Zosimos class of Organic Chemistry 1. And I'm just going to paste the link I have just copied. And yeah, that's it. So once they have the link, once Erica, my colleague, has the link, she will just click on this link, and then she can join the class. I'm just going to send this over to Erica right now. And I'm going to come back to this class page, and while Erica is joining the class, I just would like to talk a little bit about these two tabs here, the practice and the assessment. And I'm just going to pull out a slide for this because I would like to talk about this difference. So basically, there are two ways you can use the interactive chemistry quizzes you created in Zosimos. So one of them is to use them as a practice. So practices, it's a less structured way of using quizzes in Zosimos, I would say. They are available, the quizzes are available immediately for the students once you added them to a class. They can be filled multiple times, so it's really up to the students how many times they practice. And the correct answers are always shown instantly, meaning that after each exercise, they will show the students will see the correct answer. So it's kind of a free practice. It's up to the students how they use it. It can be used as an in-class activity as well, not just as a free practice. And a more structured way of using quizzes in Zosimos is to create an assessment. An assessment becomes only available for the student if it was started by a teacher. An assessment can be filled only once by the students, and the correct answers are not shown to the students only after the whole class has finished writing. So this is really important, that the students cannot share the correct answers with each other. And the assessment functionality can be used for homeworks, assignments, exams, tests, or any kind of in-class activity. And in the next part, I'm going to show you an example for each. So how to use a quiz as a practice and how to use a quiz as an assessment. So I'm going to go back to Zosimos. Let's see if Eric, I almost forgot about Erica. Let's see if she managed to join. Yes. So Erica received my link and she clicked on it and she was automatically added to this class. So she is listed here as my student right now. So this is really good. So in the next step, I'm gonna share a quiz with her as a practice. So in order to do that, I'm gonna click this button on the top right, add button, and select practice quiz. And let's just use the one we have just created together, the carboxylic acid quiz. And let's share this with Erica. In order to do that, I'm gonna click on these three dots here and select copy completion link. So this link will direct Erica to this quiz. It's really important that you can share quizzes like that, because sometimes students can get lost if there are lots of different types of learning materials. But this way you can direct your students towards a particular quiz. So let's do it like that. And I'm just going to send an email to my student Erica about the practice quiz. So let's say, dear student, here is your link. Here is your quiz about, carboxylic acids. And I'm just going to paste the link. And please let me know if you have questions. And I will just send this to Erica. And now what we're going to do is we're going to check Erica's screen and we're going to see what she can do now with this quiz, how she can practice. So Yanchi, if you could make Erica the presenter now. Okay, so this is Erica's screen right now. She has received my email about the practice quiz. So if she opens my email and just click on the link. So once she clicks on the link, she can immediately start practicing with the carboxylic acid quiz. So she starts answering my questions. Once she answers the question, she clicks this check answer button. And then after each question, she can see the correct answer and she gets immediate feedback about her answer as well. She has the same chemical editor integrated here as I was using when I created the quiz. So Erica is able to draw structures here as well in the same way I did. So right now she's drawing a structure which might not be the one I was thinking about, but never mind. The main thing is that she has full access to the chemical sketcher and she can draw any kind of molecule she wishes to draw. She can modify the molecule, she can delete the molecule, she can experiment with some structures before she actually submits those structures for evaluation. So I think she's ready now. She clicks the done button, and then she can check her answer. This was the correct answer, yes. Then she can move on to the next exercise. So the next exercise we created was about a reaction. So she has to draw the starting compound of this reaction. So again, she has to draw a structure that ideally matches the one I was drawing. Again, she can use the chemical sketcher, and she can experiment with some structures before she actually submits the structure for evaluation. Yes, she is ready, and this is again the correct answer. She can see her answers one by one. So this is kind of an overview for her. So this was a practice quiz. Erica may be able to complete this quiz as many times as she wishes. It's really up to her how many times she feels this. Okay, so let's go back now to the teacher side. I'm going to show my screen now. So here I can also see the results of Erica's practice. If I come here, I can see that she completed my practice quiz about carboxylic acid. This is Erica, and I can see one by one her answers to each of the questions. So in the next part, I'm going to prepare an assessment, and I'm going to ask my student to complete that as well. So in order to prepare an assessment, you should click on this assessment tab. So as I mentioned, this is a more structured way of using quizzes in Zosimos, because this allows the students to fill the quiz only once, and they don't see the result after each question, only after the assessment was ended. So in order to create an assessment, I have to click this Create New Assessment here. And let's give an assessment title. Let's imagine that it's time for our midterm exam that's going to be held in Zosimos. So the assessment title will be midterm exam. For details, you can add any kind of information. For my student, I'm just going to write, this is from chapter 1 to 3, to make sure they know what the midterm is about. And then I'm going to add the quiz. So this time I'm going to add something different, not the carboxylic acids, because we already had that. I'm just going to add this quiz about alkenes as the midterm. So I set up the assessment event. So I'm going to click Create here. And then you can see that this event has been created. So at this point, the students cannot see the quiz yet. In order for the students to see the quiz, I have to click this launch button. So the teacher has to manually start the assessment. So let's imagine that all of the students are ready and it's time for the midterm. So I'm just going to click this launch button, and this prompts me that if I click the launch button, then the quiz will be available for my students in the class immediately. So that's what I want for now. So I'm going to click launch. And now again, let's have a look at Erica's screen, and let's see what she can see and how she can complete this assessment, what I created. So let's just make as Erica presenter. Okay, so now we can see that Erica started the quiz. No, she hasn't started it yet. I think it needs a refresh. Yeah, that's it. So here is the midterm exam. Erica can open the quiz and she can start filling the quiz. So first question requires a text answer. An alkene is a hydrocarbon that contains a carbon-carbon, what kind of bond? I hope she will know this, double bond. And then she click next exercise. So please note the difference. We didn't show the correct answer to Erica because she is doing an exam right now. So she doesn't get any clue about the correct answer. In this problem, this is a multiple choice. She clicks next exercise again and again. There is no information on the correct answer. But she can do the similar things as in the practice. So she can draw compounds. She can complete multiple choice questions. So the basis is the same kind of chemistry quiz, but this is the two different types of usage of the chemistry quizzes. So right now, Erica works on a nomenclature problem. Yes, and in my last question, I asked about the reaction. So she has to draw the product of this reaction here. And once she is done, then there is this submit button for Erica. She may review any of her answers if she wishes to, so she can jump between the exercises. She may do any kind of modification, but if she is happy with her answers, she clicks submit, and she has to confirm that she is ready with the exam and she is happy with it and she wants to submit it. And in the end, you can see that Erica can see her result right after submitting her midterm. So her result is actually 75%. So she must have made one mistake only. But as you can see, there is no detailed information on the correct answers. So Erica is not able to share the correct answers with any other students who might still be writing. Thank you very much, Erica. And now let's go back to the teacher side. And here you can see that this midterm is still running because I haven't stopped it yet. So I'm gonna click the stop button and just say stop and close. So this is the action after which no more student is allowed to take this exam. And after this action, the results will become available. So I'm just gonna click result here. And this directs me to this results tab. And I can see Erica's results here. So actually now I can check which was the problem she has struggled with. So actually it was the drawing problem in which, yeah, I can see now in which she made a mistake. So I hope that after this, it's clear now what the difference is between practices and assessments in Zosimos, and how you can share the quizzes with your students. I just would like to show you one more thing. It's a fun way how you can add a twist to your classes. It's possible. We now have a memory game available in Zosimos. I'm just gonna show it to you now. So this is called Match the Structure. Here we have some random structures right now, and it works as a normal memory game that I have to click on the cards. We have some crazy structures here, and just try to find some matching structures. this can be, oh my God, where was this? Here. So this can be this can be a fun way for students to learn some chemical structures. Right now we have some random structures here, but we would be interested in your opinion what kind of structures you would like to see here for the students to practice. So if you have any ideas, please let us know, maybe in the chat window. And yeah, that's it. That concludes my demo about Zosimos. And in the end, I just would like to say a few words about how you may be able to use Zosimos with other classroom tools. So you have seen that a unique link can be created for classes, practice quizzes, and assessments as well. And basically this unique link can be embedded into any kind of learning material, into any kind of communication you use with your students. So for example, here in the demo, I was using email communication with my students, and I just sent the links over to Erica so that she can complete my quizzes. My picture here shows an example of using Zosimos with Google Classroom. So you can see here that I sent over a message to my students, and I included a link to a particular Zosimos practice quiz I'm asking them to complete. So at the end of the webinar, I would like to point you towards some of our resources. So the Zosimos site, as you have seen, is available at zosimos.io. Please register and start creating your interactive chemistry quizzes. Start sharing the quizzes with your students. If you encounter any problem or if you have any feedback to us, please don't hesitate to contact us and email us at zosimos-support@chemaxon.com. I also put a link about our documentation area. Feel free to explore our documentation. It discusses in detail what kind of chemical structures you can draw in Zosimos. This may be interesting for you. And please don't forget to follow us on social media. We have a Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram account. So make sure you follow us so that you can get to know about updates and news.